Good evening, everyone. My first story, so thank you. Timeline is 4th of July 2 years ago, and we're trying to figure out what to do. So I say, let's go to the beach. Crazy concept, right? So it's my girlfriend and I decide, as I said, like my plan to go to the beach. We're meeting up with my friends, so it's my job to book the motel. Genius me, I decide to wait about a week to book the hotel, and as you could probably guess, my choices were pretty limited. So I finally land on a place, and it's this literally one-star motel. I'm relieved. I finally have a place. It's a Saturday morning. It takes us 5.5 hours to get there, an hour to park. On top of that, I get my first migraine ever, which if you get chronic migraines, God bless you, because that shit sucks. So have a great day at the beach. We finally get there, and it's not the best place I've ever seen, obviously. We walk into the lobby and go to the front desk, and there's a half-eaten corn on the cob just sitting on the counter. I guess he thought it was a great centerpiece. I don't know. But it's clearly, like, this thing's old. Like, it's rotting, and he just refuses to pick it up. So we check into the place. We go to our room, and immediately open the door, and immediately we're hit in the face with this freezing cold air that's just filled with smoke. And my girlfriend looks at me like she's the exorcist, turns around like her head totally 360 and looks at me like, did you seriously just book a smoking room? And I'm like, no, this is ridiculous. This is an outrage. We definitely got scammed. And meanwhile, I'm thinking in my head, like, I definitely booked a smoking room. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, we walk in, and we're kind of like, okay, let's see if we can deal with it. And we're just kind of inspecting the place and smelling the sheets. And honestly, as we dig more and more, it felt like the cast of SVU just literally left the place like it was a murder scene. And I'm like, okay, we decided after like a couple minutes set in, and I'm literally nauseous. I can't stand it. We're like, all right, we're not gonna stay here. So I go back to the concierge, and he's this little Indian guy just kind of doing his job. And I'm like, yeah, so the place you just put us in that you sold to me, nobody can live there. I don't know how you put that on your website. That's ridiculous. I demand a new room. And he's like, no. You paid for it, so yeah, you're gonna stay there. And I'm like, I got very angry, of course, and I'm like trying to hold in my anger and do the whole salesy thing, negotiating that you're supposed to do at this point. Totally failing. And we decide, like, okay, well, I'm not gonna stay there, so we're probably gonna go. I want my money back. I asked him for my money back. He called his manager. They decide no again, just completely denying me. So while all this is happening, another lady comes in, and she had pulled up to the front door, and she was in kind of a frantic mood, like she was with her child, and she comes in, and she's like, we need a place to stay. We don't know what to do. Can you help me? And the concierge looks at me and looks at her, and she's like, well, I mean, this guy, he kind of just left his place, so you can take it. I'm like, listen, lady, first of all, you're not about to do this to me. I turn to her, and I'm like, you do not want to stay here. So she's like, well, why not? She's trying to figure it out. We go to the room and check it out, and she walks in. She's like, okay, yeah, like not really expressing emotion. We go back to the concierge, and she's deciding what she's going to do. And she's like, can you just give me 1 second? And she walks out the door, and literally, I don't know if you've ever seen in movies, like when they screech away. I didn't think like this could actually be a thing. She screeches away, gone, like clearly didn't want to stay there either. So we walk out. We decide that it's unbearable to stay in either. And I walk out saying some unkind words that I wish I could say here to this little Indian guy. Like, he was just kind of doing his job. And we walk out, and we decided to stay at my friend's place. And my friend is kind of, he's been love him to death, been my friend for my whole life, and he's kind of a heavier guy, nothing against him. And his dad's the same way, and he's always been known for snoring. So we set up an air mattress in the middle of the place, and we hoped to God, it was him and like a bunch of family members, tiny little room, and we hoped to God that they're not going to snore. And 5 minutes in, full-blown snoring, like resonating from like his dad and my friend, just like boom, sonic boom in my ears. We pull an air mattress out, outside, no roof, anything. Finish the night with like mosquito bites, dew all over us, just the worst night's sleep I've ever gotten, waking up every half hour. We wake up the next morning, and my girlfriend didn't talk to me for a few weeks after that. She eventually got over it, but moral of the story is, girls, don't ever let the guy be in charge of plans unless you're at least supervising it in some way. So that's it. Thank you.
Jake, everybody.